So, February has come and gone, and now we are here in March. Hopefully, a month that'll be a lot better than February. It's a month that doesn't include Valentine's Day, so there's a start. We don't have to be reminded of how lonely it is in this room making YouTube videos, and this is getting very dark very fast, so I'm gonna stop. But March looks to be a very, very big month, arguably the strongest month we've had in a very, very long time when it comes to movies, TV shows, and video games. We have a lot of good stuff coming, and I kind of want to go through everything, some stuff that I'm excited for, and some stuff that I think just the generic public is currently excited for. That's getting a lot of hype. So I'm going to mention all that stuff. Probably going to miss some things, so let me know down below whatever I miss. But this is every TV show, every movie, and every video game that I'm looking forward to in March. No particular order. We're not ranking these things. That'll be at the end of the month. So first off, I'm going to start with the movies. And the first one I want to talk about is Dune Part 2, which by the time you've seen this video, I have probably already seen Dune Part 2, and I have probably already released my review on it, so go check that out. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but either way, I've definitely seen it by the time you're watching this, and yeah, it looks amazing. It's apparently a masterpiece. Everybody's raving about it, and I will probably be raving about it. Let me just give you my prediction on how I think I'm going to be talking about the movie. I think I'm probably going to give it a 5 out of 5 and say it's the greatest film I've ever seen in my entire life. That's just my personal prediction of what I'll be saying in exactly 24 hours when I make my review for the movie. But we'll see. Obviously, the movie looks huge. It looks like it's building off of Part 1. It's Denis Villeneuve, who's arguably the second best filmmaker, or the best filmmaker working in Hollywood right now. He's just incredible. He just keeps upgrading with every single film, and I don't think Dune Part 2 is going to be a step back from him. Obviously, it's not. Number 2 is Imaginary, this weird new horror film that's being made by Jason Blumhouse's film production company, and it looks kind of bad. I'm not going to judge it. Listen, I actually think Blumhouse makes a lot of decent horror movies. They don't really make a lot of trash. They don't make a lot of films that are unwatchable. Their movies are always usually just kind of interesting. They present somewhat of a decent idea, somewhat of a fascinating and satisfying twist, but they usually just kind of fall flat when it comes to everything else in the production design and everything. And this movie just doesn't really seem like it's going to break that mold. The trailer did not really impress me, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to sit here and trash a movie I haven't seen. I will be seeing it when it comes out, and I'll give my review for it here. It looks like an okay idea. It's weird that this is coming out. It's a horror movie about imaginary friends, right? It's a horror movie about experiencing these fears connected to imaginary friends. That's coming out like a month before John Krasinski's movie, IF, Imaginary Friends, is coming out, which is essentially a happy movie, a family movie about that same subject. Very interesting that happens in the same year, but I kind of love it. Number 3, this is one that I'm probably not going to see, but I know people are sort of excited for, is Kung Fu Panda 4. If you like any of the Kung Fu Panda movies, you're getting another one, and I actually think the trailers and the marketing for this have been kind of funny. Jack Black obviously involved, but they had one that kind of mimicked the Dune Part 2 trailer. Thought that was really funny. I'm not really into these movies, but I thought I'd mention it because I know there might be some families watching that are looking for a family movie. This is probably the one. At number 4 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, this is what I'm mixed about. I didn't love the new Ghostbusters one, the one that was kind of like a reboot / sequel. Thought it was better than the all-female Ghostbusters movie. That one was very, very stinky. But I just thought the newer one was just kind of boring and forgettable, and it sort of fell flat. It definitely presented a lot of interesting ideas. You had great performances from a lot of the new characters. It definitely went for that younger Stranger Things type vibe. I'm not just saying that because it cast Finn Wolfhard, but it's definitely going for the vibe that was set in that movie and movies like It, by having a younger cast enter this kind of mysterious world. I'm shocked that we're getting a sequel to that, because I didn't think the movie did super well at the box office, and I just didn't think it was an exciting movie that anybody really cared for. But clearly I was wrong, because we're getting a sequel, and I am happy to say that the trailer for this actually looks a lot more interesting and exciting than the original. We're going back to the roots of the old OG Ghostbusters film. We're going to New York City, and there seems to be this new ghost event that the kids, the families, Paul Rudd, all of them are going to have to contend with. And it looks like it could be a really good time. I don't know if it's going to be anything crazy, anything unique, if it's going to take any big leaps, any big swings, because at the end of the day, it's a franchise movie that sort of needs to play it a little bit safe so it can make enough money, impress general audiences, and greenlight a sequel that'll do the same thing. So it's not going to be anything, it's not going to be like A24 meets the Ghostbusters. I wish it would be, but it's not. But it looks like it could be a good time, and I'm somewhat looking forward to seeing it, so yeah. And the last movie I'm going to be talking about is Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire, or something like that. I gotta be honest, I hate these American Godzilla movies. I think they're all really just kind of atrocious, and I know a lot of people are big fans of them, but to me, these movies are always structured the same exact way. You have about an hour and a half of people talking about bullshit, stuff that's not interesting, and then you get 30 minutes of gigantic CGI nonsense that was really cool in like the first couple movies. It was really cool in like Pacific Rim, where the humans specifically got involved in the kaiju fighting, but these gigantic CGI kaiju battles are just so goofy to me, and I fall asleep watching every single one of these movies. So, as you can tell, Not very excited for this movie. I'm gonna see it. I've seen all of them. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna do a review. I might even do a ranking of the universe, which would be a lovely, lovely video for me to make. But, I'm not excited, especially because we just got Godzilla Minus One, which I think is the best possible version of a Godzilla movie you could possibly make. I don't think you could do better than that. And just based off the trailers for this one, it's nowhere near the type of movie that Godzilla Minus One was. It's nowhere near the style, the authenticity, the level of writing. It's just not that. This is just another gigantic monster CGI monstrosity that I'm probably going to fall asleep during. But I guess we'll see. Now to the TV shows. Another big month for TV. A lot of continuing shows, a couple new ones I want to talk about, so let's get through it. First one, we have The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Now, if you've seen me talk about the show in previous videos, you know I love it. I love The Walking Dead, and I've been waiting for this Rick Grimes show, which I originally thought was going to be a movie, for so many years. And this first episode that we have gotten, and maybe 2 episodes by the time this video is out, but at least first episode was so satisfying and so beautiful, and I loved every second of it, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see where they go with this universe, where they go with these characters, where they go with this story, how it all connects. I can't wait to see Rick reunite with many of the characters back at home that he hasn't talked to in years. I can't wait. This is epic. This is awesome. This is what The Walking Dead is. And I'm so excited. And number 2, Shogun. This is another show that only has a few episodes out, and it is absolutely tremendous and is a big contender for what will probably end up by the end of the year being one of the best TV shows of the year. This show's epic. It takes place in early 17th century Japan and talks about this kind of coming struggle and civil war within the Japanese leadership. You have all these different leaders that are sort of divided. You have the Christians in the country that are separated by Protestants and Catholics, English and Portuguese that are kind of coming to a head, and there's going to be a conflict there. There's just so much going on. It's got the Game of Thrones political intrigue, but it's also got the violence and the chaos that you would expect from a show that takes place in like a feudal Japan type setting. It's beautifully shot, the locations, the production design, the colors, everything on a technical level is beautiful. This show is just kind of like a dream. It doesn't feel real, and I'm interested to see if it continues that way or if it takes a steep dive. Hopefully not, but Shogun's great. You should be watching it. Everybody's watching it. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, oh my god. Next up is The Gentleman. Now, I haven't even watched a trailer for this one, but I have seen the original Gentleman made by Guy Ritchie, and I really enjoy that movie. I'm probably going to end up watching this show. This is a show that apparently expands the universe of that movie, expands the characters, and it kind of dives into that style of storytelling and that grouping of characters and tells a new story with The Gentleman. Other than that, I don't know much about it. I kind of want to go into this one blind, but let me know down below. Have you seen The Gentleman? I think it's one of Guy Ritchie's most underrated movies. He's a very underrated director. He just makes so many movies, and because of that, a lot of them end up being pretty, like, not very good. But he does have a lot of sleeper hits, and The Gentleman is one of them, and yeah, I'm excited to see what this is like. Next up is The Regime. This is another one I don't know much about, but I know it's on HBO Max, and I know it stars Kate Winslet. I know it's a limited series, and it stars some sort of world leader who's like the chancellor of some, I think like the European Union. I might be completely wrong. I'm going into this one blind, but the little bit of teaser that I saw of it, it looks big and epic and dark, and it looks like a HBO Max, or sorry, it looks like a Max, you know, a classic, kind of that classic style of series that they're really known for making. It might be about like an authoritarian regime. Kate Winslet just looks amazing in it. She's always amazing in everything she's in. I know Hugh Grant is in it. It's just one that I'm obviously excited to kind of see what it's all about. It might end up being a flop candidate, one that I just completely forget about by the end of the month, that it's just not very good, but hoping, and I'm hoping against hope, that it could be one of the better things that comes out in the month of March. And the last thing I want to talk about is X-Men 97. Now, I never watched the original X-Men animated show, so I don't really care about this. I'm also kind of sour on the MCU, but I know all the MCU freaks and the superhero people will get mad if I don't mention their one thing that comes out this month, and it's X-Men 97, the brand new relaunch of the animated series, coming directly from Kevin Feige at the MCU. And yeah, I'll probably check it out. I'll try to watch it, see if it's my cup of tea, see if it's not, but yeah, I guess it looks okay. Now we'll get into video games. First up, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, when this video comes out, I will be in the middle of playing through it, and it's probably going to take me about a month to play through, but when I finish it, I will be making a gigantic video about it, where I'm sure I will probably be gushing over it, because that's what everybody else is doing. This is a massive, massive expansion on what was the original Final Fantasy remake. It is only the second part of what is the original Final Fantasy VII, game that I've never played, so I'm going into this kind of spoiler-free. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's coming. I know all of you do, but I don't. It's apparently an open world that contains multiple different open regions. The game looks beautiful. The combat looks more expanded on from the original one, but still the same kind of turn-based meets action RPG-style combat that made the first game so much fun. Characters are all back. There's new characters that look really great and fun, and I can't wait to play this one. I cannot wait to dive right into it. I'm starting to play it today. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for Amazon to drop it off so I can start playing it. So we'll see when that happens. But God, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, yeah, it's probably the best game. It's probably the most anticipated thing of this month, if I'm going to be honest. Number 2 is Dragon's Dogma 2. This is another massive RPG game that I'm excited for. I never played the original Dragon's Dogma, but I've seen tons of gameplay, tons of reviews, tons of different things about it that really, really appeal to me. And now we have a new one, which is essentially the first game, but expanded for modern consoles, modern, technology, modern game types. It's a massive, massive RPG where you get so many different choices, so many different things. The combat looks really fun. It looks like you have a lot of choice in how you approach the game and its world. I'm just so excited about this. The random encounters, like I saw a clip of this guy just roaming the open world and like just accidentally running into a dragon and having like a 30-minute battle with the thing, like shit like that. That's my type of thing, and this looks great. And I'm gonna play it on release, and I'll do a big review for it here when I eventually finish it, so wait for that. The next 2 are both sports games, both of which I'm probably going to buy, but probably not talk about in this channel, but I should let you know, WWE 2K24 is coming out, and MLB The Show is also coming out this month. I love both these games. I love WWE, I love MLB, but I just don't know how I would talk about them on this channel because, there's really nothing to talk about. It's the same shit every year, just updated. So yeah, but if you're into those things, they're both coming out this month, so yeah. Next up is a game that I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to play or really be interested in, but it's one that's definitely kind of caught my attention. It's called Alone in the Dark. It's a remake of the original Alone in the Dark series, and the original Alone in the Dark game, which sort of inspired the Resident Evil series. It's kind of like this weird zombie game, I guess. I don't know, the gameplay for this and everything about it that I've seen, it looks great. It looks very, very, very professional. The graphics are amazing. The combat looks very Resident Evil-like. And it's something I might be interested in. I'm probably not going to go out of my way to play it unless the reviews are great, so I'm sort of waiting for that. But if you are an Alone in the Dark fan, let me know down below if I should play it. And let me know down below if you're excited for Alone in the Dark remake. So yeah. And last but not least, last thing coming out in March, movie, game, or TV show is, of course, Rise of the Ronin. This is a game that I am also sort of excited for. I don't know when I'm going to be able to fit in a playthrough of it, but this is coming from Ninja Games, I believe, the same people that made the Ronin games. The same people that made the Neo games, which are very popular. This is essentially a From Software-like action game set in feudal Japan. You're playing as this samurai in this weird version of Japan. You could fly around like Batman on a glider. The combat looks really fun and engaging, but also very challenging, like in the Neo games or any From Software game. This looks great. It looks like sort of Ghost of Tsushima, but hard. So maybe that'll be your thing. Maybe it'll be my thing. I don't know, but I'm probably going to get it. I don't know if I'm going to get a review out on this one because I'm playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth this month, and then Dragon's Dogma 2, and those are 2 massive games, so I don't know if I'm going to have time to play this one and fit it in, but we'll see. I definitely would like to talk about this one, especially in a month that's going to be filled with, this time period of Japanese history and people talking about feudal Japan and all this stuff because we have Shogun, and I know this isn't early 17th century like Shogun, but still, it's older Japan, samurais, all that great shit. So that's going to be a big topic over the month with this game and that TV show. So maybe I'll talk about it. But I don't know. Let me know down below. Do you want me to talk about Rise of Ronin? I don't think anybody really cares. That's it, guys. You guys looking forward to March? Hopefully it'll be a better month than February, because February kind of sucked ass for a multitude of reasons. But the channel's doing great because of all of you subscribing, liking, watching all my videos. I appreciate it. Please subscribe. Please turn on notifications. I work really hard here making content, and it's really hard as a new content creator making content because you just never know which videos are going to do well and which don't. But just leave a subscribe down below. Turn on notifications. I upload almost every day, so I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.